I just wanted to express how I feel about the passing of Bobby Jenks. Bobby Jenks passed away at the age of 44 in Portugal. He had been fighting stage 4 cancer for several years, was in Portugal because of the very specific treatment. And unfortunately, he lost his life. And unfortunately, as of this taping, the Chicago White Sox are unveiling a statue for Mark Burley, are welcoming back almost the entire team of the 2005 World Series and celebrating the 20th anniversary. And it's something that Bobby Jenks will not have the opportunity to soak in and enjoy and hear the applause of so many White Sox fans just one more time. And just from an eye test perspective, Bobby Jenks looked like a Chicagoan. Bobby Jenks looked like the guy who drove his pickup truck backwards into your driveway and you'd help him unload bags of cement into the garage. The dude that worked overnight to bring special sausages that he wanted to throw on the grill that maybe were beer battered. He looked like the dude that would check your ID before you went into a place like Kingston Mines. He looked like a dude you wanted to hug, looked like a dude you wanted to hang out with, and he looked like a dude that you wanted to close baseball games for you. And in my lifetime, as a White Sox fan, especially as someone who had season tickets from 2002 to 2009, so 7 years, all the way through the World Series, I've owned 5 jerseys, or jerseys, if you will, in my life. First 3 are obvious, and they're must-own for any White Sox fan. Mark Burley, Frank Thomas, Paul Konerko. The 4th one was Ken Griffey Jr. because I just, one of my childhood heroes ending up on the White Sox, I had to own that jersey. And then the 5th one was Bobby Jenks. And that jersey that was in White Sox black is now gray because the amount of times I wore it in the sun at Sox Park watching a White Sox game because I was so proud to wear the Bobby Jenks 45. And the Chicago White Sox have decided to adorn a 45 patch on their shoulder for the rest of the season. And good for them. I hope they get an opportunity to reflect, celebrate, and appreciate the life and the gifts sports-wise, athletically, that he gave to all of us White Sox fans the rest of the season. And there were so many parts that are just burned in your mind when you think about Bobby Jenks during that time. And let's start first with the easy ones, right? The stats. Back-to-back 40-plus saves. 5 straight seasons of 27-plus saves. There really is no other closer in town other than the Bobby Thigpens. Roberto Hernandez did it for a while. But no one really on the north side. Lee Smith in the 80s. I mean, in Chicago baseball history, he's 3rd on the list in most saves. The first one is Bobby Thigpen. The second one is Lee Smith. The third one is Bobby Jenks at 172. But in 2005, he came out of nowhere. Had an 11.4 K per 9 rate. And was throwing 100 miles an hour in high heat when not many people were. Before anyone else was. And we all remember Ozzie Guillen coming out to the mound whenever Bobby Jenks was coming in. Oh, who's Ozzie Guillen bringing in? He would make the sign. Give me the big guy. And for that year, too, if you remember, there are some real musical iconic moments that sort of track and trace the journey of 2005. Of course, Thunderstruck, the intro that the White Sox would come out to, we'll never forget. We'll also remember Journey's Don't Stop Believin', adopted by the Chicago White Sox. Neil Kotz, A.J. Przinsky, Joe Creedy is there going out, hanging out, being brothers off the field as well as on the field. And then the other one was POD's Here Comes the Boom. And look, you've got the Mariano Rivera walk in. You've got the Edwin Diaz now walk in. But for me, for my money, give me POD's Here Comes the Boom as Bobby Jenks comes in. Here comes the boy from the South. And he's bringing heat. In 2005, he saved 4 of the World Series games. Or excuse me, he had 4 saves in 2005, 2 saves in the World Series. People don't remember pitched 2 scoreless innings from the 11th inning all the way through the 13th inning to open it up for Jeff Blum to hit that home run. and had Mark Burley come in for the save. He was a two-time All-Star. In 2007, allowed only 6.2 hits per 9 innings and had a 0.89 whip. He was at the top of his game. And Bobby Jenks, he's in the category, in the debate, for greatest Chicago sports closer of all time. And it's fair to have the conversation of, it's Game 7, ninth inning. Bases are loaded. What closer do you want to have in that moment? Do you want Aroldis Chapman? Do you want Bobby Jenks? Do you want Randy Myers? Do you want Rod Beck? Do you want Roberto Hernandez? Do you want Keith Fulk? Do you want Bobby Thigpen? And I got to be honest with you. 2005 Bobby Jenks, I think he might be my pick of the one guy I'd want to open up the bullpen for to bring in for an out that I got to have. In Game 7 of the World Series, bases loaded, 2 outs. Who do I need right now? Give me the big fella. So rest easy and rest in peace, Bobby Jenks. Thank you for everything that you did as a White Sox fan and for this city, bringing a World Series. You will never be forgotten. You will always be celebrated. You will always be admired. And thank you for a guy who went through adversity in his life, who turned his life around and did it the right way. Another message, another life lesson that it's never too late to turn it around and become the person that you want to be. And I think that's what Bobby Jenks did.